Hey guys, so today I wanted to do an update video on my pregnancy. So this will be weeks. I looked back because it had felt like a while since I filmed my last update, but it's really only been 2 weeks. So this is going to be weeks 16 and 17. I am currently 17 weeks and I use the Ovia pregnancy app. 17 weeks and 3 days. So in this update, I'm gonna talk about cravings, my nausea, where it's at right now. I'll show you my belly. I also want to talk about like buying things. Oh, and it's a boy, so we'll talk about that. Our plans for his nursery. So a little bit of everything. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Let's get started. So yeah, first of all, we're having a boy. We ended up, I just couldn't really wait. No, you know what it was? I posted my last update video and I was saying that I'll probably find out the gender during my next appointment. So I was reading all of your guys' comments and a lot of you were like, oh wow, I didn't find out the gender until my anatomy scan. Like everybody said that. And I was realizing that for a normal pregnancy, you don't get ultrasounds every appointment. So my only experience has been being pregnant with twins. And I went to so many appointments with them. I actually had to go to a specialist very frequently. And every time I would go to him, he would do what I am now realizing is basically an anatomy scan every time. So every time I'd go for my just checkup, he would do full measurements of both babies to make sure they were growing on track. And it was just a very extensive appointment. I never realized how extensive it was until now, because now when you go in for your checkup appointment every month, it's every month, I think it's every month, they literally just weigh you, take your blood pressure, and just listen for the heartbeat and just kind of make sure you're feeling fine. So now I'm realizing that that's the normal thing that happens, but for me, it just seems so odd. So after I read that, I was realizing, okay, we're not gonna find the gender out for some time now, and I was getting really antsy, and I knew that there was a place near me that specialized in finding out the gender early, and I went on their website. They said you can come anytime after 12 weeks. So I was like, okay, well, let me just do it. I was 15 weeks at the time. So I decided to email them and see when I can make an appointment, and they emailed me back and were like, can you come in today at 3:30? And Andrew was there at the time because he had gotten home from work early. And I was like, oh my gosh, do you want to do this now? Like when the girls wake up, we can just head over. It kind of caught him off guard. It caught me off guard. We weren't mentally like ready for it. It was just so spur of the moment. So we went over and they have like a big viewing thing, which is really cool. And she was, looking for a while, and it was kind of quiet. Well, we had both the girls with us, so it wasn't quiet. But Violet was like laying on the bed with me. And then after a while, she's like, okay, do you want to know the gender? And we were just like, okay. We like looked at each other and she's like, it's a boy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited. And Andrew, he jumped out of the couch and went like, whoa, it was so funny. And the next thing out of his mouth, he said, all right, now we're done having kids. And I was just like, okay, good. So it was exciting. And it was like a strange feeling because obviously I wanted to have a boy because I already have 2 girls. So I was like, it'd be really cool to have a boy. But at the same time, I thought the girls were going to be boys. So I was just, telling myself it's going to be another girl because, I mean, it's a 50-50 shot. And I was just like, maybe we're just going to be a family of girls. Like, that's totally fine. And I could picture myself with just girls. Like, it just kind of made sense. So yes, I kind of thought I was going to be a boy based on all of my symptoms and all of my cravings. Like, I never had one person say, I bet it's going to be a girl. Like, every single person based on my symptoms and my cravings said, that is exactly how I was with my son. So that's why I was like, okay, every single person's telling me it's going to be a boy. That's what made me kind of think, maybe it's going to be a girl. I was measuring a little over a week ahead, which I always like that just because it seems like the baby's growing well. And everything looked good. So it was kind of nice to have that ultrasound, and you can just go in. It was only $45. So I thought it was just like a really good deal. And then I think I might do another one towards the end of my pregnancy, depending on how many, again, I don't know how many ultrasounds you get. But maybe if it's like been a while and I kind of want to just check up on him and see how he's doing, I might just go back and get an elective one, because it's kind of nice to just give you a little bit of peace of mind. So that kind of changed some things around our house, knowing that it's a boy. It kind of gives you some clarity. Like, it's nice to know whether or not it's gonna be a girl or a boy, just so you know what to prep for. In my case, I had saved a lot of the girls' clothes, not a ton. I do sell a lot of them on Poshmark, but I kept some of my favorite things, and not really, I was going through it. I didn't keep many doubles, but I did keep some of the really cute little things that, I don't know, like had good memories to me. And I do want to save a few things for the girls when they are older, in case they care. I didn't care. My mom saved so many things and I like didn't care at all. But I kept a few things. I had like a little, you know, a little rectangle box full of some of their little onesies and shoes that I thought were really cute, like their first little bows that are so tiny. And then I ended up getting rid of a lot more stuff because I had saved a lot, you know, in case we're having another girl, because I was like, we gotta save some stuff. But now that I know it's a boy, I don't need all this stuff. So I ended up making a big bin for one of my friends who has a newborn. I gave her a ton of stuff for her daughter. And then I ended up selling a lot of the other stuff on my Poshmark. So that was kind of nice to get rid of a lot of things because I had so many bins of clothes. The next kind of area that I need to tackle is the nursery now. So a lot of you guys have been asking what we're gonna do for the nursery. So our house is 4 bedrooms. And the 1 bedroom that is where I typically film, like where our office is / filming room, that room is connected to our garage, and it's kind of like the laundry room leads into it. It feels like an add-on, and I would never want to put a bedroom in there just since it's connected to the garage. It feels kind of weird. And it's not really insulated the same, like it always gets colder in there. It's right on the street. So it works great as an office. I'm gonna keep it as an office, and then half of it, because it's a pretty large room, it's like twice the size of the other 2 bedrooms. So I'm gonna take out, I have tables that I had like my makeup stored on, which I don't use at all. So I'm gonna get all that out of there and put their big toys in there. So it's gonna be like office / playroom, which I'm actually really excited for because I feel like I can get a lot done in there while the girls are in there playing. Currently they love to be in there, but right now it's like just makeup in there that they can play with. So once that is stored more kid-friendly, I'll have their stuff in there. And I do have to declutter a lot more and get rid of a lot of my beauty products because I have a lot of stuff in there that I don't need. So that is kind of next on the to-do list, is get that room situated. So then the current playroom will be the nursery. As far as anything I've purchased for the baby, I've only purchased new curtains for his room. And other than that, I did place an order for some clothes, some little newborn clothes. The nice thing is, knowing the gender now, I feel like I can be really picky with what I buy. And it's nice now that it's my, you know, this is not my first time doing this. So I'm realizing what I don't need that I had for the girls. I ended up saving so many of their little white onesies, which I'm very thankful for because we use those pretty much exclusively when they were born. So I have a ton of white onesies and they're pretty clean still, shockingly. I'm just buying a few like one pieces, like onesies for 0 to 3 months because I'm pretty sure that's all they're really in when they're born. And like they're just swaddled all the time. At least our girls were always just swaddled. And then as far as cuter clothes, I like to buy them 3 to 6 months at the earliest age and then kind of go from there because again, when they're so little, they're just sleeping all the time. They're wrapped up in a swaddle, so you don't really need to be dressing them cute. Plus you're nursing them pretty much the entire day and there's not really a point in dressing them super cute. So I'm just getting like basics. So I got some basics from Gap and I got some cute little like romper things from Nordstrom Rack. And it's kind of tricky because the girls are born in December, so it was easy as far as weather goes because I knew it was just gonna be cold. So I just, you know, always had them in a white onesie and then I would have like their sleeper on top. But now June's kind of hard. Like usually it's warm and then especially like once you're in July, it's hot, really hot here. So I'm wondering if he's just gonna be like good in a little short sleeve onesie. I don't know, but I know like newborns, you still have to keep their head and feet cold or warm. So that's where it's kind of hard. And also it's all winter stuff out right now online. So you can't really buy anything that's for warmer weather. So I'm gonna wait like a month or two till I look again. As far as my nausea, it's pretty much gone. Every now and then at night, I feel a little queasy. It's not anything awful though. And my doctor did tell me that what can happen too is you can be like really tired by the end of the day and that'll feel like you're nauseous. So that could be the case because I felt really tired lately at the end of the day. So like last month or 2 months ago, I didn't feel that tired, but all of a sudden I've been feeling really tired at the end of the day. So it could also be because since I feel better, I am doing more during the day. So I keep myself very, very busy. So by the end of the day, my body's just like, okay, you need to like sit down, because I'm not really ever sitting down except when I'm filming. And then as far as cravings go, those have kind of subsided a little bit, which I'm kind of happy about because I was ordering so much takeout and nothing really sounded good to cook at home before. And so I was wanting to get stuff at like restaurants, stuff that was already made, you know? But now I'm kind of back to normal as far as eating. So I'm back to eating my salads for lunch. Everything just seems to be a little bit more normal, which is nice. Because also I had gained weight very quick. I've already gained over 10 pounds, which I don't know how much I've gained now. My last appointment, I gained 10. I don't know, but my thighs already feel like so much bigger. My butt is already so much bigger. And I think it's just because I was eating so much. Like I'm always hungry. It's just crazy. And with the girls, I ended up losing weight the first trimester because I was so sick. I couldn't eat anything. My appetite has been like through the roof with this baby. So gaining weight is not gonna be my problem this time around. I also just had coffee for the first time yesterday in 4 months. So the reason I decided to, one, the smell doesn't make me super sick anymore. Before, the smell of coffee just smelled super bitter and just like I was not wanting it. That's why I was drinking chai all the time. But my chai has a lot of sugar, I was realizing, and I was drinking a cup a day, which doesn't seem like that much, but it has a lot of sugar in that 1 cup. So it adds up. So I was like, you know what? Let's try this coffee thing out again. And it honestly didn't taste that bad. And I had it today. I actually made my first pot of coffee. Like Andrew was going to work and I was like, you're not gonna take any coffee with you? I made coffee. He's like, you made coffee? Yesterday, since it was the first time I had coffee in so long, it gave me so much energy. It was insane because chai has about like 1/3 the caffeine amount as a cup of coffee does. So I think my body was like, whoa, here we go. And I just felt like I was like right now too. I mean, what time is it? It's 12:30 and I had my coffee at like 7 today and I still feel like I'm good to go. I'm doing my yoga in the morning now, not every single day, but I try to wake up. I set my alarm for 5:40. I actually was doing yoga with Adrian, but I'm realizing that I need to do prenatal because my stomach is pretty big now, so I can't do a lot of the things. I'd have to modify, you know, I can't do anything on my stomach, obviously. I can't do much stuff on my back. So I ended up just searching prenatal yoga. There's a ton that come up. I think the one I did today is by Sarah Beth, I believe, and I really like it because it's to the point. She just starts right away. Whereas yoga with Adrian, I like, but I found myself fast forwarding a lot of it because it's like we're sitting just like meditating for a while or just talking, and I'm like, okay, I got to get to the yoga. You know what I mean? I don't have a ton of time in the morning to be doing that. So 20 to 30 minutes or so gets me in such a great mood. I also am going on walks. So every now and then I'll take the girls out for a walk, and Kyla or Andrew and I will go out for walks on the weekend. And whenever I go with Andrew, he always goes on a way longer walk than I usually go on. But walks are just like a good thing to do to just, you know, get your blood flowing. Also, it's nice to get the girls out, to get Kyla out on a walk. So my workouts have consisted of just walks and yoga, which I'm fine with right now. I kind of want to add in some weight exercises, but I just honestly haven't got around to it. I'm gonna go on Instagram right now and check because I asked you guys if you had anything you wanted me to talk about. Okay, the first question is, what's the difference between having twins and this pregnancy? So as of now, I was honestly just so much more sick with them. Like the sickness was a whole nother level. Like I was super sick this time, and like to the point of I'd be, you know, going to bed super early, like with tears in my eyes because I felt so awful and like you can't do anything about it. But with the girls, it was like, I remember saying to not even just myself, to other people, I just want to go to bed and wake up and have this pregnancy be over. Like it was just miserable. Like I just remember feeling like I was pale, I couldn't eat anything. It was so bad. So I was just really, really, really sick with them. So that was the biggest difference. Also, I was a lot more stressed with them. And I think some of it has to do with being the first pregnancy, but more of it I think has to do with it being twins, because I was never really that nervous to get pregnant in the first place. It was more when I found out it was a high risk pregnancy that made me nervous, because there were so many things that you have to think about, and just the fact of having 2 babies like stressed me out. So this time around, I'm like, I have zero stress about this pregnancy, because the girls, it was such a whirlwind with them as newborns. Like people have asked me, are you nervous to have a 3rd child? And I'm not at all, because it was so intense with them. Like when they were born, it was just nonstop all the time. And Andrew always says like, I thought it was fine. I'm like, yeah, because you were at work all day long. Like I was nursing them around the clock, you know, and this is all I remember. Every time I'd be nursing one baby, the other one would be like in her swing, hysterically crying the entire time until I could get to her. Because I tried the tandem breastfeeding, it just didn't work out for me. My mom always says that too. She's like, I'll just remember coming over and you'd be nursing one and one would be crying when I got there. And I would just be like, don't worry, it's fine. Like I'm almost done. And then I'd get to her and it'd be fine. But it was just a lot of crying, and like, it was very overwhelming. I got through it, and because you just have to do it. Like there's no choice. Whenever anybody asks any advice for having a baby or anything, I just say, honestly, like you just do it. There's no really option to not figure it out. Like you just have to figure it out. You have a baby in front of you or 2 babies in front of you, and you just have that instinct of what to do. So yes, it's going to be super, super hard and exhausting and emotionally draining, but like you'll get through it. And every month gets easier. At least for me, it got easier every month. I remember around 6 months with the girls, it was like, it felt so much better. And now we're like really in the groove of things with them, and everything seems like so much easier. And now I have to have a newborn again. So that's where it's like tricky. I'm like, everything seems like we're back to square one. Like there's not spit up everywhere. Everything has like, we're in this routine, you know what I mean? And so now to throw a newborn into the mix, that's where it's just a little bit like, we have to do this all over again, but it's only one. So that's why I'm not as worried, because I just think it's going to be just so different, because I can just have the baby. The girls are going to be fine playing. Like, I just think it's going to be fine. So that's why I'm kind of glad that I had the girls first, because I don't know what it's like to just have one baby. So I'm hoping that it'll be a lot easier. We will see. Somebody asked about the nursery, if I'm going to plan on what I'm going to do now or just do a tour when it's all done. I'll definitely show you guys peeks of everything. So I'll show you like when we get the wallpaper in and when we get the rug in. So I'll show you kind of stage by stage, and then I'll definitely do a video on the whole thing when it's done. Oh, somebody asked about cramping, pains, baby movement, spotting. I have not had any spotting, and I didn't have any spotting with the girls, so I can't talk about that really. I don't have anything to say about that. Cramping, not really yet. And my doctor did say that I should feel like the round ligament pain around now, and also just more cramping earlier on. Like with each pregnancy, everything kind of comes on a little bit quicker. Oh, the one thing I do feel is pressure down there, which is odd because I'm only 17 weeks. So, and he did tell me this too. He said it'll feel like heavy and like the baby's gonna fall out at any moment. So again, I think he was just saying because you carry a little bit lower each pregnancy, so it's just gonna feel like you have a lot of pressure. But yeah, I definitely feel pressure already, which is kind of odd. I am carrying way different though. I know he said he usually carry lower with each pregnancy, but this baby seems to be just like a round basketball, and it feels way higher, which is usually how you are with a girl. So it's kind of like backwards, I think. I have felt him move a ton actually, and that's another thing that usually you feel your baby moving quicker with each pregnancy because you just kind of know what to recognize. So to me, it feels like little pops, like little popcorn pops, and just like, it's a different feeling. It's not like a gas bubble. You know, you just can kind of feel that it's something different. Like something is in there, something is moving. And I do feel him more at night, especially when I'm just laying down on the couch. After I have like something to drink, I always feel him move. And it's more when I'm just like relaxed. Like during the day, I'm nonstop moving, so I don't really pay attention to it. But it's when I'm like sitting on the couch, the girls are asleep, Andrew and I are watching Housewives, that's when I feel him move. Maybe he's gonna be a housewife fan. How are you coping with pregnancy fatigue while chasing two 2-year-olds? So my tiredness doesn't hit till later on. So this is how I was. I remember when I started feeling better with the girls, I tried to just get as much as I possibly could done in the morning. And now looking back, I'm like, good grief. Like I had no children to take care of. The world was my oyster. I could have done so many things, but obviously you can't tell. I couldn't tell myself looking back that because you don't know any different. But now it's like, I feel like I get so much done, so much more done now with twin toddlers than I ever did before. Like it's just nuts. So my biggest piece of advice is know when you're feeling your best and utilize that time to get stuff done. That's why I try to wake up before the girls so I can have a little bit of me time that puts me in the right mood for the rest of the day, make my to-do list, and I know like usually I have 3 things that I need to get done. I try to do stuff before they go down for their nap, because once they go down for their nap, I just have a few hours before I'm starting to get tired. Because once I wake up from their nap, I'm typically done working for the day. That's when I'm usually just like with them playing and cleaning the house. So I try to get everything work related done before about 3 o'clock. One more question then I'm gonna end this video is, will you reveal the name? So I don't know what we're gonna do. Andrew and I filmed a Q&A, which will be up soon. And we talked a lot about this, but I'm thinking we're just gonna wait until he's born, because not that it's like a weird, super trendy name or anything. We're probably just gonna wait till he's born. We've pretty much decided on his first name. The girls call him that, like it's super cute. The other day, Violet was sitting next to me in our bed and she pulls her shirt up and she's like, I found baby blank in my tummy. I found him, he's in there. Like it was so funny. I was like, no, he's in my tummy. And she's like, huh? So they're a little confused, but we haven't decided on a middle name yet. So we'll see. So let me show you guys my stomach. So it's so like round right now, and I feel like it starts up pretty high and it just pops out like a basketball. So these lights are making it really bright and I look like a ghost, so white. And then it definitely gets bigger, like as the day goes on, it gets like way bigger. So that's it for this update. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for spending some time with me today, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.